Hi, I'm Deb, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Yoga Bites with Deb. Today we have a practice to open up our hips that we're doing all lying on our backs. You might find it useful to have one or two blocks and maybe even a strap, but they're not necessary, so don't worry if you don't have them. So I hope you'll join me lying on your backs. We can lie on our back. If you like, you can have a headrest behind your head. And you might want to have a block close by. So we have our knees bent. We're going to take our right foot and flex it, cross that right ankle over the left thigh. And you can stay here and maybe gently push that right thigh away from you. Or with the belly gently drawn in, you might use a block, place your left foot on that block just to raise things up, bring things closer. Or you might lift the foot off the mat. You might wrap your hands around your left thigh. If you can't quite reach it and you'd like to pull it in a little closer, you can always reach for your strap and wrap it around that left thigh so you can pull it in a little bit closer. And your final option, if you feel that there's room, would be to lower the left foot down and wrap your hands around that left shin. That'll be probably the deepest you can go here. And it might not be for everybody. Make sure you're not straining. Make sure your head's not sort of lifting off the mat, the headrest or whatever. You want to be comfortable and be able to breathe and soften. You just want to open up through that outer hip on the right side. Breathe deeply and soften as much as you can. And then you're going to release, lower your foot to the mat. Then we're going to drop the knees to the left side. So if your right foot can rest on the mat, that's great. If not, you might place a block underneath that foot. Your other option is to hold on to your ankle with your left hand if it's available to you. And what you want to watch for is that your knee doesn't fall towards you. You want to push that knee away from you so it's shining up towards the ceiling. And you might choose to lift your right arm up and rest it alongside your ear or even out as a T, or you could bend the elbow as a little cactus arm. Whatever feels comfortable for you. You need to be able to soften. So noticing where you're feeling sensation, I always feel this right at the crease of my hip. You might feel it somewhere else. You might feel it in your low back, along your thigh. Just pay attention and soften and imagine you're breathing into that tension. We're going to lower our arms down. We're going to bring those legs back up. We're going to come into our half happy baby. So you're going to lift this right foot up. Your hand is either going to go behind the thigh and you're going to bring this knee wider than the hip. And then you want to lift that foot up and you can hold here. Or you could bring your right hand to hold on to that right ankle. Or some of you might reach your foot. Okay, so what it is, knee is wider than the hip and you want to lift that foot up to face the ceiling. This left side, you want to anchor that hip. So sometimes, to make it easier, you just let that left knee kind of drop out to the left, and that'll just keep your pelvis level. This might feel like an awkward position for your body. Maybe you feel vulnerable and uncomfortable in it, so keeping the knee up but anchoring that hip down, or even stretching the leg out. I like to flex my foot, point the toes up towards the ceiling, and we're just breathing here. And then we're going to bend that left knee if it's not already, and we're going to cross the right knee on top of the left knee. And we're going to lift the feet off the mat. So these are the cow face legs. We're going to hold on to maybe our knees. Maybe we can slide our hands down to the shins so that we're holding opposite legs. Some of you might bring them all the way down to your ankles, and you're gently pulling those ankles towards you. And again, we're just stretching out that outer hip on the right side. So we want to soften as much as we can, and we want to connect with our breath. Feel free to just close your eyes. Release, lower the feet down, keeping the knees crossed, extend those arms out at shoulder level. We'll just do a little twist. So I like to shift my hips over to the right and then allow the knees to drop to the left. Your belly's gently drawn in, chest shining up towards the ceiling. Both shoulder blades lay on the mat, and if the head allows you, turn and look over that right shoulder. And bringing your head up to center, belly is in as we bring our knees up, and we want to uncross. Going now to the other side, lift the left foot, flex it, left ankle over the right thigh. And remember your options here. You could use a block to rest your foot on, to bring the legs up a little higher. You could lift the foot off the mat. You could use a strap to wrap around the thigh and pull the leg in closer, or you could just use your hands. And you can wrap the hands behind the thigh or the shin, as long as you can relax. You don't feel like you're straining and hunching. Find that relaxed position, keeping that left foot flexed. Breathing, maybe close your eyes here, soften. Lowering the foot to the mat, belly's in, dropping the knees to the right now. If your left foot doesn't touch the mat, place it onto the block. See if you can hold onto your ankle with your right hand, and don't worry if you can't. That doesn't matter. You just want to make sure the knee doesn't collapse towards you. You push that knee away from you, and then your left arm, it could relax, it could extend out at shoulder level, maybe into a little cactus arm, or maybe just rest it alongside your ear, and just breathe. Lower the arm down. Lifting the legs up, coming into that half happy baby. So left knee goes wider than your hip, hand behind the thigh, lift the foot up, hand around the shin or the ankle or the foot, whatever works for you. Anchor the right hip down, maybe let the knee drop out to the side, or maybe extend that leg out, flexing the foot. What feels best on this side, and it might be different from the other side. And then we're going to bend that right knee if it's not already. Cross the left knee on top of the right knee so your thighs come nice and close together. Your belly is drawn in. You lift the feet off the mat. Your hands come either onto the knees or the shins or the ankles, and you're gently pulling them towards you. And again, just breathe, close your eyes, notice how you feel. Release the feet, lower them down, keeping the knees crossed. Extend those arms out, belly's in. Shift your hips a little bit to the left, and then drop those knees to the right, and maybe turn your head to the left. And just breathe. Bring your head to center, bring your knees up as we uncross. And then we're just going to end in our supine bound ankle pose. Soles of the feet come together, knees drop out to either side. You could grab a couple of blocks if you like and place them underneath your thighs or your knees for added support, but you don't need to. You can let them just kind of dangle there if that's comfortable. Maybe rest your hands on your belly. Close your eyes, just soften. Try and just remain focused on your breath. It can be gentle, or we can go into some nice deep belly breathing. Feel that belly expand on the inhale and gently draw that belly in on the exhale. Keep relaxing and softening a little bit more. And you can stay here as long as you like. You could lift the knees up, you could stretch them out, come into a Shavasana, you could click on the Shavasana video that comes next, or if that's all the time you have today, you can just gently roll to your side, slowly make your way up to a seated position, and just take a pause. So that's our yoga bite for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully your hips feel a little bit looser and you're ready to go. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and have a great day.